little cheese, mozzarella please. And then for the meats, if I could get chicken pepperoni. And then I'll do mushroom. Yeah, what do we got? Let's do. This is Parmesan, please. Yeah. Not gonna lie, that heat feels good.
Yeah, it gets hot at that.
Really did. I think I'm good, just as is, perfect. Shout out to Mod Pizza for not only being delicious, but also that 15% hookup. Like I always said, you give me a military discount, you got a customer for life. So Mod Pizza, I'll see you again soon. So I want to talk about accountability. And that's really the underlying goal of this whole rebuild series, was to provide some extra sources of accountability for myself to get back on track. Accountability is one of the biggest things that I preach and try to instill in all of my clients and patients as a health coach, that the more you hold yourself accountable for, whether it's to yourself or with, ooh, bouncy, or with someone else, the more likely you are to succeed. Why? We don't really know. Usually if we hold ourselves to a certain standard, or if you're paying for a service, or if you know you have to be somewhere to meet someone else is relying on you, then you have a higher rate of compliancy, higher rate of efficacy, and you are most likely going to stick to your plans and follow through with your goals. Now, me being in the industry that I am and just already having that mindset of I know what I need to do and I just got to do it, it's a little bit easier for me than most people. But that being said, kind of getting out of habit, out of routine for a few months, I was like, you know what? I need some help. And so the reason why I'm making this more public and why I'm making these videos and putting up my workouts on my Twitter account and, you know, just incorporating as many different ways as I can to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable, but in the same way I'm getting you guys to hold me accountable. Because honestly, ask yourself, be true to yourself. How many times have you tried to do something, make a small change or even something radical, and were 100% successful completely on your own? Sure, you may have gotten good at something, but you will never become great as long as you keep yourself as your main priority, and if you don't seek out the help of others. Because trust me guys, you can be Albert Einstein, you can be Bill Gates, you can be the top person, the top authority in your field, and still learn something new from someone else. What am I learning? I'm learning that the more I hold myself to this standard of this rebuild series, I'm actually sticking to my weekly goals, my daily goals. So I know 4 weeks is a short turnaround time to really see any significant change composition wise, but I do know that it is long enough for me to get myself back in the habit, and that is the whole point of this. This place is so different when it's so quiet. Back here at the district, gonna hit up a little push-it workout. Now, I don't normally take a pre-workout when doing a chest, but you know what? I'm feeling like I need a little extra oomph today. Friday just got me feeling some kind of way. So I got my Endo Pump Flight pre-workout along with my creatine down the hatch. One good thing about having the whole place myself, I get control of the DJ booth. So I got my Swole Sesh playlist going on Spotify right now. So for my warm-up on my chest, I normally do a set of just progressive warm-up. Same thing as I do with every other exercise. So I'm doing a set of 10 to 12 40-pounders, set of 10 to 12 with 50s, and then I'll jump into a couple working sets, 5 to 6 reps of about 75 pounds, and then jump into some heavy singles or threes. Usually once I start getting into my rep ranges of about 3 to 6, I'll throw on my wrist reps. I don't really have any injuries, but it just gives me a lot of support. This is also about the only time I ever take these off. A little shaky. Don't know if I can do my 3x3 with that. Again, the whole part of this process is to test my strength, see where I'm at. I think to keep it more fluid, the reps a little cleaner, I think I'm gonna drop down to 90. '90s are definitely feeling cleaner, smoother, more controlled. So I'm probably gonna do 90s for a couple more sets. I was aiming for a 3x3, but I think the way the 90s are feeling, probably gonna do a little 5x5 action. If you're ever starting on a new strength building program, I got my roots from a 5x5. Shout out to Elliot Hulse.
I was always told that only time would heal the pain.
5x5 is done. What I do after that is do kind of like a reverse pyramid. So I basically try to do, I'll drop 10 pounds, do 2 less reps, drop another 10 to 20 pounds, do 2 less reps, or at least the same. And that's it for heavy flat bench. So after this, I'm gonna go into all my accessory, incline, decline, pushing movements, and probably 1 to 2 tricep movements. Honestly, for incline hammer press, I very rarely go over 45 on each side, just because I like to go for volume, go for reps, and already do my strength. But oh well. More weight, more better.
It keeps getting worse. I'm burning on the inside, and the truth is that I didn't know how good you were until you were gone. Until you were gone.
So now that we're listening to a bunch of robots having sex, thanks to Nicholas, who just killed a 405 for set of 3 after a boo-boo 410. But who's counting? I didn't major in mathematicians. Now we get to go back to my music. So that is a wrap, guys. Episode 3 of the rebuild, a little chest day, some push action. So like I said, my chest is pretty much my strongest muscle group. I rarely have to do a lot to get a lot of my strength back if I ever get off of my routine. It's just a strong suit of mine. So I'm not saying that it is my strongest lift, but I tend to lose strength less with the man boobs, if that makes sense. Flat dumbbell press, incline hammer, and then onto some rope extension, tricep extensions, dual-handed, then single-handed, and then wrapped up with some dips. So that's gonna be a wrap, like I said, for this one. I wanted to kind of just resonate on what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode about just accountability. So a big reason why I did this was to give myself some benchmarks throughout a certain time period. I had kind of an end goal in mind of what I wanted to be as far as strength wise and somewhat physique, but I just knew that going into the meetup with the Bear Brothers that I needed to get my shit together and needed to get myself back on track. So I was using that visit as a reason to provide this accountability, and in a process I have had you guys help me with this accountability and making sure that I upload these videos and making sure that I have some continuity in my training. So again, thank you for helping me keep myself accountable, and always keep yourself accountable. And if you can't, set yourself some goals, get a workout partner, make a video, do whatever you need to do, schedule it in your day, make yourself a priority, because if you don't, I promise you, life will get in the way and you will forget about it. So that's a wrap, episode 3. One more week, and then the following, I'll be in Texas.